We arrived in Nanjing on the 2nd of October in 2019. That was during the celebrations for the Golden Week that's coming up now. My son will finish his studies here, and my wife is teaching here. We have plans for the next 5, even 10 years. We will bring more foreign people into Nanjing, organize more conferences. We will have our students travel abroad, winning positions overseas, and then tracking them back to China. Our longer term plans are... My name is Craig Robert. I was born in Adelaide, Australia, and after one postdoctoral position, after I got my degree in Melbourne, I moved to Chicago, working at a national laboratory. Now here in Nanjing, I'm the International Distinguished Professor in the School of Physics and the head of the Institute for Nonperturbative Physics here. And this center is established to bring together people who have an interest in high-energy nuclear and particle physics in theory to try and answer some of the questions that would explain how the universe evolved after the first microsecond, after the Big Bang. Mass began to emerge. The proton began to emerge. It never decays. If the proton did decay, we couldn't exist. Nothing could exist. So we're trying to understand just what it is about nature that makes the proton absolutely stable. And there are many facets to this question. You can approach it from many different ways. We have, in the past 5 years, arrived at a very new understanding of the way that the fundamental particles called quarks and gluons interact with each other. Certain features of nature are working together to make sure that this interaction strength remains finite and well behaved at low energies. And the discoveries that we've made might actually tell us that this is the first properly defined quantum field theory that humankind has ever invented. We now play a key role in an international collaboration that involves more than 100 people, both in experiment and theory, that can validate the concepts that we're introducing. The notion that we're discussing is called emergence, and this goes back to Aristotle. You are something that exists as more than just the sum of your small part. If we can put the jigsaw together from that point, we may really come to an understanding of how the proton stability makes cells stable, makes human life possible. The theory we work with is 50 years old now, and we're just beginning to work out how to solve it. Maybe in the next 50 years we'll have a solution altogether. 75 years is not long compared to the age of the universe, which is 14 billion years. But yet, in 75 years, people change a lot, and countries change a lot. And I'm extremely impressed at the rate at which China has grown. I feel that the investment of Jiangsu and the central government in basic research is very good here in China. I looked around in the USA and in Europe and in China here at Nanjing. But here in Nanjing, people acted very quickly. And part of that offer was access to a huge pool of highly intelligent human resources. In leaving Chicago and coming to Nanjing, the output and impact of our research program has grown by a factor of 5. So academically, I was foolish not to come to China sooner. We have a man here who's Brazilian. He had offers to work in other places, but he chose to come and work with us because he saw the opportunities in China. I'm committed to internationalize basic research, higher education in China. The long-term plan is to keep that up. Basic research is the key to one, international recognition of any nation. If you have a scientific community whose research is making an impact on the world stage, then people notice. A colleague from CERN came to our conference here in May, and now he's searching through China, trying to find new collaborators for his big program at the accelerator facility in Europe. The academic life is extraordinary. The private life is excellent too. Nanjing is a lively city. It's a comfortable place to live. What makes it most appealing, I suppose, is that there's a juxtaposition of city and park. And since I'm a cyclist, it's nice. You have the mountains, you have the hills, you have the countryside. so you can enjoy that. I always invite our guests to walk along the Nanjing city wall. It's actually the largest left standing in the world. And I always like to ride my bike actually up to the wall on a Saturday morning early. So that's a good part of life.